It's not a conspiracy. It's called a plan. It's a plan. And it's a well-executed plan. Look at where we are today. The American elites, global elites, party at Davos, they're making out better than ever. The top 1% in the world got the best gig they ever had in their entire lives. The Chinese Communist Party, the elites, not even the 92 million, but the elites, the factions that run it and a couple of families that run it, never had it better. The only problem they have today, the only problem they really have today is that their real estate, all the money they've skimmed off of the Chinese people of Lao Beijing and put into real estate in Midtown Manhattan may be a little down because Biden's economy's down. Their only issue is that their investment, they sucked all the cash out of China, right, and put it on One Belt, One Road. All these other initiatives that just give them more power and more control and more money. Some of their investments may not be as good, but they got the cash out. Tell me in the history of mankind, where we've seen a more murderous dictatorship, and I put Hitler and the Nazis, the fascists, the Soviet Union, you put them all up. In fact, you put them all up and you add them up. 1949, how did this whole thing start? Remember, it was the communists in the Democratic Party that were in the administrative state, in the State Department, in the Pentagon, that were telling the world that Mao Zedong and Zhou Enlai were Democrats. They're going to have land reform, agrarian reform. The Chinese people are going to get their land. They're going to have democracy. Not the nationalists. The nationalists are corrupt and evil and incompetent, taking money from everybody. Oh, but no, we want to free the Chinese people. We want to free the Chinese people. It's Mao Zedong and Zhou Enlai. Time after time after time. And we now know from the records they knew it was a lie. It was infiltration, not just by the Soviet Union, but also our own homegrown, the China hands, half of them were Marxist. Was it Edgar Snow, Red Star of China? The book's a total and complete work of fiction. That was what was sold to the American people. And so in 1949, we backed, essentially, the administration, the government of this country backed the communists. And we knew immediately, there were voices immediately. Remember, Joe McCarthy came, his rise to power was who lost China? The lies and misrepresentations of General Marshall and others at the State Department. Marshall, both at the Pentagon and the State Department. And look at what happened immediately. The Great Leap Forward, right in the 50s. Another debacle. It led to a famine. A famine, they starved 40 million people to death. Think about that for a second. 40 million people starved to death. As bad as Stalin was in the Ukraine, and that is horrible beyond imagination, that was 5 or 6 million. We're talking 40. And they had gulags as bad as anywhere on earth.